Welcome back, everyone. This is Zach, and I'm here with more Elden Ring. And I've had a chance to play a little bit since our last recording, and I did manage to find a couple minor things out in the Altus Plateau that we missed. We'll be getting to those in a moment. I've also been continuing to go through my bags and just take some notes on some of the more important pieces of lore that are stashed away in there, similar to how I would with dialogue. And I've also just kind of been reminding myself what is in my inventory. It feels like I always get to a point in an RPG, any RPG, let alone one as big as Elden Ring, a point where I've just forgotten some of the things that are there. And some of those things may have at one point been or seemed pretty useless in an earlier stage of the playthrough. And then later on, they turn out to actually be really useful. And one of those that I have discovered or reminded myself of is not inventory. Go to your equipment to show off your claw mark seal. I had completely forgotten about the strength scaling that goes along with the claw mark seal. And it turns out at this point in our build, we've been hitting the gym and we have the strength. It is on par with Faith, which makes it a perfect match for this claw mark seal. And at when I was looking off camera, the claw mark seal was only at a +6, and it was already doing comparable damage numbers to our finger seal +15. So I've gone ahead and upgraded this claw mark seal here to a +12, and I've been testing out the damage against the birds out here in Limgrave, since they're right next to this Murkwater Coast site of grace. But let's I'm going to continue to upgrade it here, and I just want to see, we're going to establish a baseline here. Our charged lightning bolt does 948 against these birds, so we're just going to kind of establish that as our baseline as we level up the rest of the way here. I wanted to get at least a little bit of this on camera. Let's go back to the hold. A little bit of our housekeeping here to just establish the we're going to be upgrading to potentially a +15 on this seal. I am a little bit hesitant, as I always am, to upgrade, just because we only have a limited amount of
I took you no matter it's all out your arms.
smithing stone level 5. No, it's actually smithing stone. No, that's the wrong one. Oh, wait a second. No, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong weapons here. Look at your claw mark seal. This is the way that it was off camera. I only have 13 of these, which means if we upgrade this to a +15, we are out of smithing stone 5. Which may be fine if we are getting commensurate returns. So I wanted to just see, what's the first level? If we go from 12 to 13, what does that get us? How much does that exactly boost our damage as we continue to test here on the Murkwater Coast, hapless and unwary birds, the subjects of our little science experiment here, to see exactly how much return on investment we get as we go to a 969. Okay, it is a little bit of a boost. 20 damage. So I would, if we presume that those returns are somewhat linear, then we would be getting a 9. We could potentially get our damage up to 1,000 on the lightning bolt. I think I will hold off on that for the moment until we get a little bit more in the smithing stone. The smithing stone 5 stockpile, let's add to that a little bit before we start spending the rest of our smithing stones. Just because that wasn't as substantial of a damage upgrade as I was hoping for. So we'll live with that at a +13, lucky number 13. I also quickly warped back here to see if I could get lucky and spawn rain, because I have discovered in the process of doing all of this experimenting off camera, I discovered that rain actually has an effect on your spell damage. It actually boosts your spells, well, some spells. If they are lightning affinity spells, then you get something like a 10% damage boost. On the other hand, at the same time, while it's still raining here, if you decide to use a fire-based spell, now, we did more damage than our lightning bolt, because I think a charged black flame actually does really good against birds. They I think are more susceptible to fire. We don't have a baseline against the birds. 1277 there is our rain baseline, but if we quickly warp back, we will see that fire spells in fact, get a slight damage reduction. Because we boost the damage all the way up to 14, 18 when it's not raining. A fascinating little detail that I just had never noticed before. So depending on the weather, I don't know if there are other weather effects. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head that would make sense. But there may be other weather effects that also change your spell damage levels. A fun little thing to note. And perhaps work into our calculus on what spells to use in what locations. We're also going to head over here to, now that we have our claw mark seal in place, we have our new seal. And the only thing I didn't do there was I didn't test against the finger seal. But if you look at the incantation scaling, it's probably doing something more like 10 or 15% more damage now than the finger seal. So I think we have found our new casting implement. I'm going to switch this over to, I'm going to put the Sacred Dagger over here to have a Golden Vow option when we need it. Another little thing that I had forgotten that we had teched in with the Godskin Apostle fight. So let's keep that at the ready. What I want to do is now play around with some Ashes of War. We discovered a couple more lightning-oriented Ashes of War as we were poking around the Stormcaller Church and eventually ran into an ancient dragon. So now we have some new Ashes of War options to try out, and we're going to give them a try. One of them is the Lightning Ram. We have to see exactly how this works. Let me check the description one more time. Yeah, let out a bleat, then tumble forwards, clad in lightning. This I cannot wait to see. Tumbles can be repeated in rapid succession. Of course they can. Why wouldn't they? Where we're going to test this, we're going to go out here to this little skirmish out here in Limgrave. We don't have... It would be so cool at the Round Table Hold if there were something similar to a, you know, Skelly from Hades, or some sort of testing dummy that would allow you to test out all your new spells and Ashes of War. But this is about as close as it might get. So why don't we try out here and see... I ran out of stamina. I ran out of stamina. Okay, the only little thing I hadn't thought about is that getting close to that skirmish, there's so much noise going on. We didn't get to hear, really, the most important part of this ability. Which is the bleat. Oh my god. This is a thing. This is a thing, ladies and gentlemen. It works very well against these guys because this is the lowest possible level of enemy in the game. So anything we do is going to obliterate them. But wow. Wow. Lightning Ram, huh? Lightning Ram. Okay. Option noted. I don't even know how to address that. So I'm not even going to try. We're going to simply move on to... I'm not necessarily throwing this one out. I'm moving on to the next test. Because we also need to do some pratfalling. The Golden Slam, skill of the avatars. Let's first of all just see, is there any notable audio to go along with this pratfall? Man, imagine if you could also tech in the Ashes of War system is like the ultimate in customizability. letting you mix and match Ashes of War with particular weapons. Imagine if you could go even further and mix and match the sound. There might be a mod, you know? There actually might be an Elden Ring mod that lets you change move sounds from one Ashes of War. Oh god. That actually is really cool, I gotta say. Do you jump? You do. You do jump a little ways forward. Okay, the shockwave is not as wide as I had thought at first, because this guy was a little bit out of the... He was able to back away and remove himself from that... From the pratfall of death that was headed his way. Imagine if you could also combine the bleat. A bleating pratfall. What a... I actually, we're gonna, just for entertainment value, we're gonna head back to the site of grace that I intend to move to next, and then we are going to equip. We are going to go back to the lightning ram because we need to play around with this and experiment to see exactly, just exactly how powerful. That's the word I'm going for, right? How powerful is this spell? Another spell, or something else that I had reminded myself about, was this spell Darkness, which I think I only ever tried like one time because I read it. As I tend to do, I read things very literally, and it talked about a veil of darkness that conceals the caster. And I thought, okay, this is supposed to affect my visibility wherever I am standing. And then I tried it against an enemy that I was stood far away from, and it didn't seem to do anything. And so I thought, this thing is useless, because the enemy was still targeting me. It turns out I should have tried this in the, we could have done this against the enemies that we were out in the field with just now in Limgrave. But we'll maybe get a chance to try it. I'll even put it there in the memory slot, the active memory slot, so that we have it at the ready. But it turns out you need to be standing close to an enemy in order for it to have an effect. We'll check this out perhaps in action shortly. I did remember that one of the things here in Altus Plateau that I had forgot to come back for were these items at the Nomadic Merchant. So let's pick up this Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook. More lightning stuff. More lightning, more better. We get lightning pots and rope lightning pots added to our repertoire. And I think that actually leaves a gap. I think we need the Ancient Dragon Apostles Cookbook 1, if I'm not mistaken. We're also going to pick up this Crossed Tree Tower Shield because the stats on it are good enough where it may be one option that we want to have at the ready. It's pretty good in the fire and holy damage negation. So having several great shield options for different situations seems like a good idea. Nothing else here that I'm in a hurry to buy. We may need stone sword keys at some point, potentially. But yeah, that's what we'll do for now. And again, no need to apologize, my friend. Just keep making that sweet, lovely music, which we can actually hear once again because we have, as I double check, we have game audio. So this is good. Life is good. Let us make our way. One of the things that I have check marked here, the beacon that is in the distance. One of the unfortunate, well, one of the things that happened, our episode that unfortunately had no game audio, but one of those fortunate fun events that did happen was the surprise mimic. Silver tier mimic kitty cat, which I did not obviously realize was going to be a kitty cat until stuff was already happening. But one of those, but the giveaway, or what kind of raised my sus meter in the process of backstabbing that mimic was a sword that seemed very different. And I have found another hollow that has something similar going on. So, I bookmarked this because I thought, what if we have another situation here? What if we have another mimic? Not this time. Okay. All right. Unless, unless the Lanciax's glaive is really the secret, the super secret way to disable the mimics before they are able to get going. I'm noticing this guy has some fancy shoes on compared to his friend. The wandering, hollowed out aristocrats and nobles. Every once in a while, they turn out to be something really different, but not in this case. So that is one item that we can check off of our list. Let's go check with Varre. We took on... What was the guy's name? We invaded somebody. That's what we did. We invaded... And did we actually use a bloody finger? Let me check my inventory. I don't think I ever checked that to see... I guess we have some new items to read there as well, which we'll do in a moment. But yeah, we actually, I think, had 8 bloody fingers, and it did, as the message said, consume festering bloody finger to invade the world of... Checks notes. Magnus the Beastclaw. Because the Queen's Black Flame is OP as hell, poor Magnus never stood a chance. Okay, for some reason, this church, it felt like it looked different for a second. And so I wondered, like, I think I approached it from a slightly different angle, and my brain, for some reason, thought, wait, was this church in ruins like this? Of course it was. And I also didn't immediately see Varre, and so my mind kind of thought for a second, oh wow, we really progressed things. Stuff is different. Maybe not.
Oh, Lambkin,
Oh.
so pleased you're here. I'm glad that you're enjoying my gift. I knew it from the very start. You have a taste for noble blood.
Oh boy.
I wish to anoint you a proper inductee. A knight to serve Luminary Moog, the Lord of Blood, and establish a new dynasty. Luminary Moog has strength, vision, and of course, love.
Of course.
So, what do you say, my lambkin?
Okay, first of all... okay. I was gonna say, stop calling me Lambkin. And then I remembered what the bleating that we were engaged in not so long ago. So maybe I can't disown that moniker as readily as I thought. Luminary Moog, you say? Okay, it is not the first time we've heard that name. Moog, the Lord of Blood. We know about some curse of his that we need to purify using the appropriate tier in the Flask of Wondrous Physic. Are we going to get that curse from Varre? Is Varre... Now it makes so much sense why Varre is drenched in blood. He just can't get enough of it. Still very sus. Still very sus. But you know what? We're going with the flow. I'm hoping this is not going to screw... You never know what it screws up or what it doesn't screw up. But I think the default answer is going to be... It always is. The default answer is yes. Go with the flow. Anoint me.
Yes. Who would have it any other way? Now, take this.
A key item. Lord of Blood's favor.
For your final trial, soak the cloth with a maiden's blood. Normally, this ritual would involve killing one's own maiden and recanting the wisdom of the 2 fingers. But since you are maidenless, the blood of anyone's maiden will do.
Holy shit. That escalated quickly. I should have known. I should have known. We're getting in. We're trying to get in good with the Lord of Blood. It's really par for the course, I guess. Anyone's maiden will do. What the? Lord of Blood's favor. Pure white oath cloth given by Varre. You start with that pure white. And at the end, it better not be pure white if you want to get in good with Moog. Excuse me, Luminary Moog. The final trial to be anointed a Knight of Moog. Soak the cloth with a maiden's blood. Anyone's maiden will do. You are maidenless after all. Frickin' Varre. He was talking about this. This guy has been setting this up for a while. He was talking about us being maidenless way back at the beginning, wasn't he? Blood of anyone's maiden. Oh god. Is this a reference to the blind maiden? Is this supposed to be a reference to Hyetta? Is that her name? Where's Hyetta? We haven't found Hyetta yet. I originally thought when we were going up to the map in Altus Plateau, I thought Corin was Hyetta. From a distance. Anyone's maiden will do.
The cloth is your final trial. Soak it with the blood of a maiden. The blood of anyone's maiden will do. You are maidenless.
Maidenless after all. The only person I can think of... let me just make sure I've got... I'm pretty sure we've got... Yeah, okay. Just 100% making sure we've expanded the dialogue. There's always this... this maiden that was up here. This would be super convenient. This maiden is already dead. It would be... Yes! 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 That's why you're here. That is why you are here. There's blood already here. Somebody has already done the dirty work. I am essentially guilt-free. Dye cloth with maiden's blood. We don't have to fuck with Hyetta or anybody else. I was starting to think like Melina. Is the game gonna present us with this choice of, you know, help out Hyetta, the blind maiden, help her find the distant light, or or go down this other completely mutually exclusive path of blood. Yeah, let's do it. There it is. Lord of Blood's favor. Oh my god. Oh, moments like this. If only converted Fringe Tower were this easy. Bloodied white oath cloth. The final trial is complete. Luminary Moog is sure to welcome you into his service as a knight who will lay the foundations for his dynasty. I'm sorry, dynasty. Okay, all right. Would there... I think we're going to do this. The overthinking part of me is just kind of wondering, like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to jump in and just, like, sign up for the Lord of Blood? Like, this could completely screw up, you know, your process with the 2 fingers or potentially the 3 fingers. You haven't completely aligned yourself to any one particular Elden Ring faction so far. Are you sure? You better think about this. There's that part of me that's always sitting on my shoulder and wearing a very the actually glasses. The overthinker in me really is always just, you know, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? We went right to the spot. We went directly to the spot. It's almost like I planned it. It's almost like this is not actually a 100% blind playthrough. Promise. I promise. I promise it is, guys.
Ah, my lambkin.
Stop calling me Lambkin.
You've completed your final trial. And with this, you are a formal inductee. A knight who will assist Luminary Moog, the Lord of Blood, in the establishment of a new dynasty.
Don't make me regret it.
Give me your finger. This noble blood will be an immutable badge of honor once it settles inside of you.
Do I really want to do this? Everyone's always asking for your fingers in this game also. Just a little weird.
Oh, good heavens. Clench your teeth or something.
Oh god. Oh my god. Oh, did we just get an uncracked red eye orb? Is that what I think that's what we just got. Can I please press the triangle button?
Forget that feeling of agony, for it is what binds you to Luminary Moog, to all of us. You have the sweetest scream, my lambkin.
Oh my god. I think that's what we just did. Attempts invasion of another player's world. We just got the unlimited red eye orb. Yep. Okay, we in it. If we were online, we would definitely be in it. Oh my god. Yeah, can't use this if you are not online. Multiplayer only, but glistening blood has been siphoned into the nail of this finger. Its sickly, pale skin feels nothing now, but the nail still aches with sweetest pain. Oh, so sweet. Okay.
Oh, another thing.
Oh, another thing.
You should have this.
A pureblood knight's medal.
A medal granted by the new Mogwin dynasty.
Oh, wait a second.
Power to grant audience with Luminary Moog. I've gone out of my way to provide one to you. But you mustn't use it just yet. The meeting must wait until the Mogwin dynasty commences. Luminary Moog yet slumbers beside the divinity. We must endure a little longer.
Okay, that name, Mogwin, is one that actually sticks in my mind. I think I remember exactly where I've heard this before if I check my my Google Doc that has all of my notes for the various spirits that we've seen in you know, the little ghosts that you talk to that give you little tidbits. And I think we found one in the Eternal City, did we not? Yes. Nokron Eternal City. Lord of Blood, your eminence, I beg you, grant me a seat at the table of the dynasty. Long live the Mogwin dynasty. So, Mogwin. Mogwin. The Luminary Moog is, did he say slumbering by capital D divinity? The hell does that mean? And then it's going to, once he ascends to the throne, it's going to become the Mogwin dynasty? Sure.
Ah, it is trying, but we must be patient. One day you will be elevated, deservedly, basking in love. Right, my lambkin?
Stop calling me that. Yo. Wait a second. Dude, my eyes. My eyes are bloody as hell. Oh my god. And it's it's even weirder with the tattoo that I happen to pick out because it looks like my eye is bleeding. What the fuck? I just noticed as I decided to circle around to the dramatic camera angle, I'm like, wait a second, what is up with my eyes? Oh my god, do you have bloody eyes like this? I don't think he does. Your eyes are actually relatively normal compared to mine right now. Is this a permanent feature? Have we permanently affixed ourselves by going through with the Lord of Blood's favor? I hope we didn't screw anything up. But that's not really how Dark Souls works. You don't screw things up. You just do things differently on one playthrough compared to the next. Okay, what is this Pureblood Knight's Medal? It's also reusable. It says audience with Mohg will be granted one day. Proof that one is a glorious knight of the new Dynasty of Mohgwyn that the Lord of Blood will inaugurate. Use to be granted audience with Mohg. Only it is not yet time, for Mohg yet slumbers beside the divinity. Be patient, the new dynasty is nigh. Apparently I'm not going to be able to stop saying dynasty now. Pureblood Knight's Medal. Oh boy, what have we done?
Ah, it is trying, but we must be patient. One day you will be elevated, deservedly, basking in love. Right, my lambkin?
Stop calling me. Okay. Never mind. It's exactly what I should be called, apparently. Bloody lambkin over here. Don't mind me. Wow. Things... Sometimes this game is just, Let's, with that wonderful note, let's move on to our next... We're gonna wait patiently for the Mohgwyn dynasty to be inaugurated. And in the meantime, we're gonna head back. That ended up being... We actually got progression with Varre. And we knew right where to go. I mean, this is a pretty noteworthy... The character model at this Church of Inhibition for this maiden. Like, it's so unique. There's no other asset in the game so far from what I've seen. And so it stands out in your mind. It's not like just any loot corpse. And so when I took a little moment to think about it, it made a lot of sense. Like, wait a second, we should just check there. They give you a warp point right next to the dang thing. So that worked out. Okay, cool. The next point that we have to go, or the next thing to note, is the fact that I have found a new site of grace. I think I was pretty close to this Road of Iniquity side path, and I, for whatever reason, thought that I had been down this road already, and I just didn't quite go all the way toward finding the site of grace that was tucked away under the bridge here, below the Noble Gold Mask. And so, as I was exploring the other parts of the plateau that I wasn't sure about, I did realize there was a set of windmills that we missed, and so I placed a beacon in order to make sure that we circled back to it. And are you alive? I think you're probably alive. There you are. I knew I heard somebody to my left. Okay. Death by bleeding. It's a hell of a way to go. Oh, and now it has started raining. So we may even get more damage added to our electrified bleeding. I think it actually did slightly boost the damage. Electric ram to the rescue. You all are not doing the happy dance that all of your friends were. So we, our game audio, our Oh my god, what the hell were you doing? You bit yourself. It's like you were trying to do the old attack on Titan move and go Titan mode on me. I did not mean to turn off my lantern. Hopefully it looks like we definitely interrupted. If there was a soon-to-be Titan in front of us, we interrupted things just in time, fortunately. Poison grease. Okay, poison grease here next to the lovely pink-flowered wreath to ward off the skinless hags. Okay. So, yeah, I figured there was probably not going to be anything too major at this other windmill installment, but I wanted to just have it on camera just in case. Just in case there was something more noteworthy. We'll check on the roof up here. Our audio-less Elden Ring episode, game audio-less at least, we did not get to experience. If I had a little bit more time to edit, maybe I would have inserted the appropriate sound effects so that, I mean, we're right nearby. We can actually just go. We can go to the other, we can go to Dominula. And for those of you who may have really missed out on hearing the fun and games that the folks in Dominula were engaged in, there you get a little sample of it. And that's really all you need. Let's move right along. I think we can now say that this area, the Altus Plateau, at least the Altus Plateau that is within view, I went around and scoured other various areas and like found, you know, golden runes, and I think there was like a piece of lump of flesh that was over here, like some random little item pickups that I did come across. And otherwise, I feel pretty good now about the pass, the first pass that we have done through the part of the map that has been revealed. I'll quickly check my notes again to make sure of that. But I think that's all we've got for now. I will also note one thing that I did also found in my inventory that I had forgotten about. This weathered map. I don't remember exactly where we got this from. I think it was a merchant. But we picked up this weathered map, and at the time, I did recognize that it looked like it was above or to the north of the staircase in Altus Plateau that leads up to the capital. And sure enough, I think this is, in fact, a clue to point us, if I go to the right menu here, to point us to this plateau where we faced off against the ancient dragon. So I think that was really the purpose of the weathered map, was just to make sure that you didn't miss Lanciax. And we definitely did not miss. The only question now is, do we want to go to the Altus tunnel, or do we want to proceed to the next stage of exploration? I think the answer to that is we are going to proceed down here to the Ainsel River. We could very much keep going up those steps and work our way into the capital, but it feels like now that we've gotten that foothold through that first section of the Altus Plateau, I'm curious now to investigate a bit more in this part of the game and see if we maybe can catch up with Ranni. That would be something that'd be great to catch up with Ranni, because she is maybe the main character in the story. Definitely a main character. Ooh. Okay, and sure enough, there you go. We caught up with Ranni. Mission accomplished. Miniature Ranni. What? Okay. A doll resembling Ranni the Witch. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's do our due diligence on the other items that we picked up. Check out the cross tree tower shield. Looks like probably nothing to... Yeah, an iron great shield large enough to cover the entire body, emblazoned with an old... We read this before, actually. We read this at the merchant. High damage negation and guard capacity, a good option to have among our great shields. And then the ancient dragon apostle cookbook we know about. Let's go to double check in the cookbook section. We do have 2 and 3. So we are still searching for the dragon apostle cookbook number 1. Where is the number 1 that we've missed? Now, let's check out the miniature Ranni. From head to toe, every detail is perfect. This unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. So we know from these, I was reviewing and reminding myself all these various items, and one of them that we have is this Snow Witch's outfit, which talks about Ranni's secret mentor, the old snowy crone, and that her body essentially, yeah, the doll that houses Ranni's soul was modeled after her. So this is not Ranni's true form, but it is the Ranni's mentor. I'm already in the inventory. I just need to go back to here. And it's a key item. And it seems pleasantly cool. There's a connection there to the snowy crone. Huh. Okay. What will that be used for? I'm sure it will become apparent at the right time. I do know, I do remember from our trip down here to the Ainsel River before that this direction... No, I'm wrong. I am wrong, actually. So I was thinking that this direction is what takes us back to where we first started the Ainsel River. This little waterfall that goes down this way. But actually, this is the opposite direction. So what actually is back here? A boss fight? There's also a coffin here. Maybe it's nothing other than death. We know we can't swim, right? There's no swimming in Elden Ring. So it's just a dead end. Okay. A more conspicuous... It's, you know... feels like a spot on the map that you'd be able to explore, but I guess not. Okay, I don't see any items to loot, so the possibility of like secret tunnels or passageways that would lead up to the upper portions of this little cascading waterfall, it looks like it's just here for show. Okay, I can live with that. So the other direction it is. And some silver fireflies we will pick up as we head in that other direction. The other direction, of course, being was our first introduction to this, the Cyclops earwig. Cyclops earwig moonlight butterfly Clayman. That's who we're dealing with here. Okay, let's summon Ancient Knight Kristoff. And let's see how the Claymen handle bleeding. Okay. They handle it pretty well, if we're being honest. Not particularly weak to lightning, it seems. Or let's make sure about that. Yeah. It's okay. Oh, that is... I forgot I have this dagger on my armaments list. Our Golden Vow dagger. Forgot about that. It's not there for damage. Ghoul Palace Ruins. I think we got that title card before. Pretty sure we did. Ghoul Palace Ruins. Not close enough. Oi, oi, oi. Oh my god, that did so much more damage than I was expecting. Okay, we need to get you the heck out of here. Okay. Our Ancient Dragon Knight is having a little difficulty. Okay. Another one of these things vanquished. And a Somber Smithing Stone 7. Let's go. Awesome. We finally have our first Somber Stone 7. Polar Smithing Stone drained of color. Okay. The only slight issue there is that we actually have a bit of a choice now. We actually have a bit of a decision to make. Because before, it seemed so straightforward that, of course, we would upgrade when the moment that we got a chance, we would upgrade. Oh, these guys have their own roly-poly attack that I forgot about. Out of stamina. Okay. There was a point where that +7 would have been instantaneously applied to my magma guillotine. Speaking of level 7s, we have a Ghost Glove Wart at level 7 for the first time. So things are happening. Okay, okay. Ool Palace Ruins. I suppose we would want to cross off this connection. So we'll explore to the east. And a Golden Rune 7. It's everything is coming up 7s, guys. It's time to hit the slot machines. Okay. Ool Palace Ruins. What's the story with these? Now, though, it's no longer such a straightforward decision because we now have the Queen's Black Flame to consider. And the Godslayer. The Godslayer Straight Sword. Or Great Sword. Sorry, Godslayer's Great Sword. So we'll see. I think I only have one level 6. No, wait, we did just loot a level 6, didn't we? Ooh, so we actually maybe get to loot both of them up. Loot both of them? Level both of them up to a level 6. Make sure of that. Let me make sure of that here. Grave Glovewort 6. Ghost Glovewort 6. Ghost Glovewort 7. And then I guess we just picked up a level 7. Oh, that's right. We picked up the Ghost Glovewort 6. So if we go to our bolstering materials, we do have... No, we do have 2 level 6. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, all right. Some leveling we may be doing for our melee weapons. Now, we are at the same time utilizing. We're trying out these lightning ashes of war. Oh my god, that does not nearly the damage that I was hoping it would. I think I am realizing that the enemies here are actually... Wow, we're building up Frenzy. What the fuck? We're building up Frenzy. The enemies here are kind of strong. That's what I'm realizing. How did that one die? They also apparently inflict Frenzy. Oh, we got them to explode. Is that because I applied fire to it? No, not the dagger. Actually, maybe I will do the dagger. Maybe I will do a golden vow for both of us. You and me both. We could use a little golden vow here. No, you moved away. Come back. Why did you have to go? Yeah, the Black Flame should be more effective. Excuse me. It should be more effective against Miranda Blooms, and I think it actually is, but we're just dealing with a tough enemy. That's all there is to it. And maybe that's an indicator of well, maybe we shouldn't be here. maybe this part of the Ainsel River is a little bit higher level than we are currently intended to be dealing with. Oh, Kristoff died. Oops. I did not realize you were so low. All right, Frenzy, do not even try to give me Frenzy. It's not gonna work. Is the fire what makes you flail around? I think maybe that's the case. It's the fire that's doing that. That took forever to kill that one Miranda Bloom. That was an ordeal. Okay, we get a stone sword gi for our troubles. So that is what was waiting up this set of waterfalls. Lovely. Rest in peace, ancient dragon knight Kristoff. I am skeptical that I don't think I actually want to be going over this waterfall. Something tells me that's going to result in a silly science death. So we're going to stick to up here and head in the other direction. More claymen. I do like that the greatsword, oh, well, provided it doesn't hit a wall, the greatsword is so good at knocking fools on their rear, and even perhaps in the rear. Oi, bubbles! I did not agree to a bubble bath. Get out of here. Enough with the bubbles, guys. Take a hint. I'm sure it's nice and relaxing, but it's not for me. It is not. Oh my god, look at that. I think we have, oh my goodness. We have permanently changed our character, I think. My eyes. My poor eyes. My poor bloodshot, actual literal bloodshot eyes. Do I have regrets? Maybe. My bloodshot eyes. What shall we do? We are now inevitably tied, apparently, to the Mogwin dynasty. Hopefully we can live with ourselves. In the meantime, we'll just try to focus on taking out some ants. That completely missed you. Okay. Oh, okay. The ants feel a little weaker than everybody else, so that's good. Also, they maybe are standing in water. No, what the fuck? If, oh my goodness. If they hadn't done away with durability, which thank God, we can definitely be thankful for the fact that durability is no longer a thing. If they hadn't already done away with durability in Elden Ring, I would be a little bit... Oh my goodness, that Flame of Frenzy is... That is the bee's knees. You just need to get a clear shot. Oh no, what do I see? What do I see beyond... Oh god. What in the heck? Is that a pumpkin head ant? What? Oh my god, it's a pumpkinhead ant. I'm trying to hit you with my seal. That's not a good idea. Sometimes I wonder, what is this game? What in the hell is this game? Okay, so it looks like to the right. Okay, this was where we fought Dragonkin Soldier of Nokstella. And at the time, I was like, Nokstella, that's such a weird name. It is still kind of a weird name because I don't know what's going on with Stella. But Nok is similar, it's part of Nokron, right? So, and we also have these items that are, that say Nox. Like the Nox, there's a mace or something. I thought there was a mace. It's a hammer, a Nox flowing hammer. It kind of looks like a mace. And I think there's one or two other items that are like this. So Nox, Nokron, Nokstella, there's some similar naming convention going on there. This direction is, if I had to guess, this would be a boss area here. Maybe this over here. One of those, potentially. If there is a boss in this section of the Ainsel River. But the other direction, nice golden rune 10. The other direction here, this leads us to the upper section that we could not reach before, I think, if I remember this correctly. And perhaps more pumpkinhead ants. Just what I have been hoping for. Oh, wait a second. It's a star caller. Okay. So I wanted to use that last red main pot. Actually, I might want to craft more red main pots. Potentially. Item crafting is where you would craft more of those. Because fire seemed to do pretty well against the ants. So maybe we'll do that. We do have lightning pots now. It doesn't seem like lightning works so well against the stuff down here. Feels like fire might be the better affinity to focus on. So why don't we craft, let's craft 5 of those. My only hesitance was just because we do now have access to this Sacred Order pot. That was the thing that we can use golden sunflowers for. We also do need golden centipedes for it. So there's like this, you know, several of these more powerful items have these rare materials that are harder or maybe even impossible to farm. Like, I don't know where you would farm golden centipedes. That doesn't seem like anything has dropped those so far. Maybe one enemy did and I just forgot. But I'm a little... Oop. Okay. It's fine. I went out of crouch for some reason. I stopped crouching. Let's do... Yeah, it just doesn't seem like lightning is one-shotting anything. So maybe we'll try to stick with Black Flame. Black Flame's also kind of cheap. Star Callers, though. I guess the fact that the something else to note is the big moonlight butterflies don't look like they respawn. Pretty sure there was one in here before, and it is not back. But it also uses gravity-based attacks, doesn't it? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can I get up to this? Can I? Huh, maybe this is... Is there still yet another way? Because now this is a point of no return, is it not? Unless there is a path around... it's hard to see. It's a little hard to make out, but maybe there is a path that leads around these... the structure that is built into the cave. If this is a point of no return, it's going to be a little bit annoying to have to go back to this warp point here and schlep all the way here. So maybe what I'll do is try to look in here for a warp point first, just to kind of... Because there's just this I'm a little unsure with this bit of unknown down here, right? Like, oh, there's a chest there. Well, there is a chest there, which I had not seen before. So walking on that does seem to be intended. Because if we go down here and I get to this point, it's not immediately clear how I get back to this point and thus out of this little side diversion and back onto the main path. Huh. Because eventually we also want to get down to this ledge that's below. We can see that item drop that's way down there. So let's do what I said we were going to do. Let's check for a site of grace that is more convenient. Do I see a site of grace? Not immediately, but I do see a very beautiful site, as it looks like we're getting another angle of the Eternal City. It's not clear to me yet if the Eternal City is... Like, we know that the Eternal City, this section down here at the Shifa River, was really where, yeah, Nokron, the Eternal City. Does that extend... Was that a self-contained part of the game? Does the idea of an Eternal City extend over to the rest of the underground? These game assets look very similar. Like, we even see over here the screaming, wailing figures melded into the architecture, just like we did in the Knight's Sacred Ground. Let's get this glovewort. And there's got to be a site of grace here. My site of grace radar is telling me it has to exist. It has to be... Yo, what the fuck? It's actually called Nokstella Eternal City. And there's a site of grace. And there's a ladder. Okay, I was going to say there's one slight little issue with this site of grace, is it looks like I have to go down and not be able to return, but now there is a ladder to get us back up, so. Okay, Nokstella Eternal City. So we have Nokron Eternal City, and we have Nokstella Eternal City. Interesting. We'll continue, or we will be focusing on that. Are they separate Eternal Cities? Are they the same Eternal City? Is it just one civilization that is split into little, you know, sub-dynasties, if you will? We'll find out, I'm sure, in copious detail, as is always the case in a FromSoft game. You always get a complete explainer eventually. Everything is spelled out in agonizingly, excruciatingly delicate detail. But now I can feel good. Now I can feel very safe in, or at least not regretful if I go down here to a point of no return. Now I have a convenient site of grace to get me back. There is, I think we also might... Oh no, never mind. My theory was not correct. I was thinking there might be a second way to go in this direction in order to get down to that ledge that has the loot on it. But I don't... I think that is done somehow over here. There's a bit of a falling puzzle. I'm just looking for ledges that we would fall to over here, but I think it's going to be done as part of this structure. Okay, here is, yeah, okay, so here is the path that leads up here. Cool. Let's just do that now, because we may actually be falling down and not be able to get back up here. So let's get this loot. This may not be our ultimate exit from this little, the Ool Palace ruins. We may be doing subsequent descents, plunges downward in order to get to the other parts of this area. Let's get this chest, though. I was thinking this would be a pretty nasty spot to put a transporter trap. Maybe not that nasty, but my instinct to like roll backwards away from the chest is sort of hampered. Wing of Estelle. Not Estella, notably. It's a magic-based weapon. Okay. It does, from the artwork, you might be able to guess as much. It is a wing, isn't it? Are we getting some lore on the big earwig Cyclops butterfly? Sword fashioned from a delicate wing suffused with the magic of the stars. Strong attack unleashes a wave of enchanted light. Crafted from a relic of the natural born of the void, who is said to have assailed the eternal city. Delicate wings suffused with the magic of the stars. We know that this big enemy, the moonlight butterfly, uses those that one gravity-based attack, or magic of the stars, you could say. So maybe that's what they're called. Natural born of the void. There's a whole nother set of the lore, whole nother branch there that we've not been exposed to so far. What is the void? Hollow Knight, anyone? Natural born of the void, who is said to have assailed the eternal city. And the unique skill is Nebula. Imbue the natural born's wings with magic to send forth a dark cloud of stars that lingers briefly before exploding. Huh. Sounds like a nifty weapon to try. If only we were smart enough. Does need 20 intelligence, so not even, we'd have to put on a couple different pieces of like a trinket and a helm. We could get to 20 intelligence. We could do it if we wanted. All right, now the question is, which way do we go from here? Which way do we go? I think the only way to go, if we're going down, the only way to go looks like it is right here. And I think that's correct. Okay, so we jump. And we get the title card back into the Ainsel River. I guess we were in an elevated position up here with Nokstella, the Eternal City. So now we are closer down to the actual Ainsel River. Okay, let's be ready for melee combat. We can, if we have the time and space, we can switch to our seal. Smithing Stone 3. Okay, now we can actually get back up. We can jump down this way, and then we can get back up on via that one pillar that has fallen. And these guys are definitely a step down difficulty-wise. What do we have down here, though? I had noticed from up above, there does appear to be another tunnel here. So I'm not sure where that leads. We'll find out in a moment. Let's get this stuff over here, though. We do need to be a little careful with the greatsword. The greatsword, that actually did register the backstab. A little surprised about that. Please give me my black flame, please. The guys down below are that was 3 smithing stones level 1. Okay. Okay. Sure. You know what? I'm actually a little bit annoyed with this Sacred Dagger in the right hand. Let's put it in the left as an option. Although, it's weird because then you don't get to easily... let's just not even think about it. The less options, the better sometimes. That extra little click to cycle through. You never know when it might come back to bite you. Okay, is this just an exit? Is that all we're finding here is an exit back to, I think so. Oh, wait a second. Could we have, oh shit, we could have, this was another way. We could have totally made our way in there. We were here before and we just missed this little side path. Cool. It's interesting. We would not have been able to access the upper portion, right? We would have been able to make it to, we may have been able to make it all the way to that. No, I don't think we would have made it to the chest, actually. No, the chest, we would have been below that chest, and we would have been below the path that leads back up into Nokstella, which makes sense because they want, that's a higher level area, and that would have been blocked off until you progress Ranni's quest line appropriately. Okay, so there we go. Let's head back to Nokstella, the Eternal City. It is absolutely, it's gorgeous in such a different way compared, a different way from the Altus Plateau and the Erd Tree. The contrast in the art style is just, it kind of accentuates the beauty of each. I love the disparity between the two zones. Okay, do we have somebody riding an ant? I think so. Ants have become mounts. And I can target the ant. It might be smart to take out the ant first. Also, the ant appears to have, well, I was going to say red eyes, but it might be violet eyes. I actually hit both of them. Let's go. Let's go. Both of you can get out of my game. Excellent. I think that individual was dressed in the same way as the... Who were the folks that were down in the Knight's Sacred Ground and other parts of Nokron, Eternal City? We now have 2 Eternal Cities to reference. Okay, some stairs leading up. There is a... Oh, I was going to say it's a fog gate, but it's not a golden fog gate, so this is probably a stone sword key fog gate. And there's also some fireworks or something going on up here. I think I see them. Oh, are these like electrified silver tears that I see? Oh boy. And then there is a lower portion to explore. Oh, maybe now that I see this is over here, now I'm not so sure that this is a boss. This might just be death. Let's take a look. We're not allowed to ride Torrent. A big difference from the Shifa River. No, it's kind of unfair that the enemies in the zone are allowed mounts, but not us. I warped and forgot to turn my lantern back on. It does appear that this area down here, though, is very much death. Okay. I also just realized something. I'm going to have to sit at the site of grace because I forgot to level up. I just realized, oh, almost 80k runes. It's time to level up before we go further into a zone which could be a tad bit difficult. So let's unburden ourselves. What do we want to... How do we want to unburden ourselves? We still get 45 points in vigor. 45 HP points, that is, from a point in vigor. We actually need to level faith, don't we? Because there are some spells. Actually, if we put one more point, I think with a rune arc, we are now able to just naturally, isn't it 41 to do the Flame of the Felgon? Not that we have that. Not that we actually have that on our bar at the moment. Our incantation scaling, I was not paying attention. I'll have to go back in the recording to see what it was prior to this. But that's the thing, is leveling strength and faith pretty much evenly is a nice way to go about this in terms of leveling the damage on your claw mark seal. It's something that is not reflected in the level up screen. The level up screen doesn't give you a number to show, to really emphasize how much your spells are being boosted. I kind of wish it would do that. But that's fine. Let's keep it, well, do I want to readjust my spells at all? I don't know that I have enough sufficient information to want to adjust any of my spells at the moment. So I think we will leave it. I still have not, wait a minute, wait a second, hold on, hold the phone. I just noticed something. Talk to miniature Ranni. What? Is this now an option at any site of grace? I'm just picking the first site of grace here that is above ground to just see. Oh, hi there. I forgot the face is right here at the Ould Palace ruins. Oh, that's an interesting connection that I hadn't thought too closely about. The fact that there are these Ould Palace ruins and the followers, the ancestral followers that are right in this area. And then directly below, almost directly below, is Nokstella, the Eternal City. Not backstep. Oh, it's not at this. It's not at any site of grace. It's not at just any old site of grace. What about the beginning of the Ainsel River, the river well depths checkpoint? Is it any underground checkpoint? It is not. Do you have to be inside of the Eternal City? Like if we went to the Dragonkin Soldier, is that considered inside the Eternal City of Nokstella? No. No option at that one either. I'm just very curious here. Very curious to try. Let's go to Nokron Eternal City. Just to see what checkpoints would qualify, may qualify. It could be just that one. It's not at this one either. So maybe that one particular checkpoint at Nokstella, no, Nokstella Eternal City. It could be this one and only checkpoint where we talk to miniature Ranni. Let's talk. Nothing. What? Huh? I don't get it. Unresponsive doll. What can make it responsive? What would make it responsive? Huh. What would make the doll of Ranni responsive? What would do the trick? We're going to try to explore this lower area first while we ponder that mystery. See what we find. Let's turn our lantern back on. Nokstella Eternal City and a miniature Ranni. And all that with bloodshot eyes. This is, as... it really is. I really am a broken record when it comes to this game, but I just never know what exactly is going to happen when I decide to sit down for a recording of Elden Ring. Okay, I see an electrified mimic here, and I see, I think, some snails over to the right. So, let's try to say stay somewhat organized here, I guess. Okay, if you're gonna turn around, nope, you're not turning around. Let's do the thing again. Let's do the thing. I like the thing. I like the thing where we hit both of you. That didn't work out that time. And a bleat for the road. Oh, hello there. Something tells me that... Oh, wait a second. Never mind. Ooh, but you have a little... You have a death rattle. A shocking death rattle. Haha. I'm surprised that the Ba Ram U was as effective as it was. Okay, so we need to be, if we're gonna get that first, okay, that's smarted ever so slightly. If we are going to get the first, the first hit after our Ba, we need to stand a little closer. Try to do that. Very important to follow up your bleat with a yeet. All right, you're not so tough. You're not so tough. Trying to do your fancy Nox Monk spinny moves on us. Oh, that apparently attracted your attention. I didn't see that. All right, so this move is interesting. This move is interesting. You know what we're gonna try? We're gonna try darkness. We're gonna try a little bit of darkness. Okay, so this is what I had experimented with before, and I did this on the crowd of enemies out in Limgrave, and I noticed that, oh, it leaves, oh, that's a cool move. It leaves a, okay, we need to drink. It leaves, there is a cloud of darkness. There's a cloud of darkness that is left on the enemy, or in their eyes. We have bloodshot eyes, they have dark shot eyes. So, not sure how useful that spell is going to be, but it's interesting. If I had, you know, actually taken advantage of that momentary blindness, it would have been probably a good moment to go around and get a backstab. I was just kind of looking. I was taking the time to look and see what effect it would have, how long the effect would last. It lasted a few seconds. Long enough to where we can take advantage of momentary an enemy that has been momentarily disabled. We'll see though. I'm not sure that it's going to be a spell that works its way into a permanent part of our rotation. But the Nox Monks, let's check out that bit of armor that we picked up. We also picked up some drawstring, holy grease for the first time. If we actually ever use a weapon that's not enchanted with some sort of affinity, maybe. Armor worn by the monks of the Eternal City with a silk cape attached. It's pretty cool armor. Long ago, the Nox invoked the ire of the Greater Will and were banished deep underground. Now they live under a false night sky in eternal anticipation of their liege, of the coming age of the stars, and their Lord of Night. Okay. That's some lore. They invoked the ire of the greater will and were banished deep underground. The Nox. False Night. The coming age of the Lord of Night. We've got Elden Lords. The anticipation of a Elden Lord. The anticipation of a Lord of Blood. The anticipation of a Lord of Night. All the lords. Is that snail? Wait a second. I did not look as closely at those snails as I should have, although they are only part snail now, as I was realizing that that thing was hissing at me like a snake. I think that actually had that actually had snake skin. Celestial Dew, yay. Snaky snails. Not even gonna try to make the pun there that is coming to mind. Snake snails. Oh, great. Lightning seemed to do pretty well against you guys, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Snakes, and snails combined seem to absolutely hate lightning. Man, it takes a long-ass time to swing this greatsword, though. Oh, what? Gotta go two-handed if I want to get the one-shot. If I want that single hit to take you out. Oh, I can do the same thing with the electrified. It's interesting. I would have thought that the electrified silver tears would be much more weak or vulnerable to the. Actually, much less vulnerable is what I was trying to say. Oh, of course I should have known. Of course I should have known. How do you all like Frozen Lightning Spear? Light them up, baby. Let's go. Alrighty, now we're talking. Oh man, I'm having so much fun with all the various spells that we picked up. It's just such a fun build. Okay, that was uncalled for. Really uncalled for. Oh, and then you don't die in one hit. If I'd have known that, I would have just used Hone Bow. I would have just done that, and then taken the arrow to the face if it meant that I get to do you in. What the fuck? Please drink the other flask. Okay, and I was not meaning to target that the electrified silver tier, but you know, that's how it worked out. So it is what it is. Yeah. Cool moves. Cool moves. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You're also out of here. I want some Lanciax. Give me Lanciax. I want some Lanciax Glaive. And I want to do it like this. Oh my god, that is so sick. Oh, it is the best. It is absolutely the best. God, what an amazing boss, and what an amazing... You guys are a little bit too spread out, unfortunately. But we can still position ourselves. We can still position ourselves to take full advantage. We just need to work everything out here. Ghost Glovewort level 8. Yo, are we in a spot where we could actually fully max out one of our summons? Okay, I see an illusory sapling, which means a golden seed. Golden seed. Oh, hello. Another chance to use a glaive. I will take that chance. I will take that advantage of that opportunity. I love that the trail, so you get like the glaive itself does like insane damage against you guys. But then even if they don't get caught in the actual glaive, the shockwave that resonates still gets them. So good. So freaking good. Oh, you're using a shield. I just realized you are blocking. Oh my god, sneaky. Sneaky motherfucker. These guys. These fucking guys. All right, I'm liking this area so far. The pale glow of the plant life. Very haunting, but also kind of soothing in its own way. I'm excited to get that next golden seed though. So many electrified silver tears. Let's take a moment and take stock of where we're at. Okay. We are, I think we explored back up through here. Yep. Maybe, let me quickly just double check here that it looked on the map like there might have been a side path. I'm sort of hugging the wall to the, if we're facing in this direction. Oh, I missed this item. I'm hugging the right as we get a golden rune 10. I'm hugging the right-hand wall if we're facing to the west. So I guess it's the north wall. It looked like there might have been a hallway. Right. There was this place with another snail, wasn't there? I did not go down here. Okay. There's not going to be just one snail. That's not how this works. Aha, I see the one up on the wall. There's got to be more. Probably more than just the one. There you are. All right, time for some glaive. Eat it. Oh, how did you survive? How? What sort of... You put on some lightning proof. You ate some lightning proof dried liver, apparently. Was that it, though? There's no items or anything? This is not a sus cave wall. That's... Surely there wouldn't be that big of a sus cave wall. All right, let's get back up to the front, or the let's get back up to the front of the progression. That is, there's a whole spot to the left. Actually, maybe that's where we'll go first, because I can see that it might be a smaller area to explore. Like this area down here, this is the boss fight, right? This was the boss fight against the Dragonkin soldier of Nokstella. But if we head up to the stairs over here... Oh, wait a minute. There's another set of stairs there. Oh, there's multiple levels here that I'm realizing. Oh, okay. So, okay. Let's put a beacon here. We need to come back to this. Eventually. That will be like, I think, heading to the uppermost area, possibly, of this section. In the meantime, we will start with the lower areas. I guess I was here already, or there's nothing to find, but I want to head up this set of stairs, which only is a much shorter climb. And I see a massive chest inside there, so that's also something to go for. Oh, it just cracks me up every time. Okay, this is a massive chest, and we did not have to do much for it. There's got to be a catch. Ghost Glovewort 9. We've got a Ghost Glovewort 8, and now we have 9, which I think means we have all the levels we need. We have 2 of the plus 10. If we're assuming, and we all know what happens when you assume, but plus 10 feels like it's the max level, is it not? Doesn't it say in here actually that this is the since times of old? It doesn't explicitly say in this description that this takes your summons, your ashes, to the max level, but the 2 times that we picked up Great Ghost Glovewort, it had the legendary item Coloration Gradient. And so that would make sense to me. You pick up a legendary bolstering material. It has the ring of a Titanite slab in my mind. And another Ghost Glovewort 8. Okay. Okay. Cool. Upgrade options. The only question is who... Actually, there's really only one option. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that there's only one option. But the first, as I started to think about it, I realized quickly that the option that most readily resonates would be Latenna. It'd have to be Latenna, right? Latenna, I think, has to be the leading candidate. Oh. It's only right. See, why did... Oh! Chain reaction! Oh, okay. At first, I thought we fucked up because we did the Lanciax's glaive too soon. It turns out that the self... the self-electrifying chain reaction was so much more satisfying to witness. That was great. And another Somber Smithing Stone 7. Yo, we came to the right place for the bolstering materials that we've been missing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, hello. Hello. It's just not as effective against you guys. What is probably much more effective is Black Flame. Maybe not much more effective. Why am I trying to go with the bleeding move? I'm about to die here. Trying to bah you to death. I love their moveset. Okay. Very cool moveset. I just wish they died a little bit more readily to lightning. Like everything else seems to. You do have to be a little careful against these enemies. We can't just it's unfortunate there that last little sliver of health. Made me spend another... Man, that also does so much damage. Holy moly. It's not like... This is the thing, is that we are constantly getting our flasks refilled. So it's not like I have to be I just can't resist. It is a compunction of mine that is something I should work on. I really need to get help for the compulsion is probably the word. The compulsion that I seem to have to constantly get value out of, squeeze the maximum value out of everything when I really don't have to. It scratches an itch of mine that it really is a compulsion. I'm still a little bummed out as well. We can't ride Torrent. Torrent doesn't get to hang out with the ants. Because that's totally what Torrent has always wanted to do. All right, stashing away as much formic rock as we can as we continue to press forward here in the Ainsel River. Let's pick up some silver fireflies as well, I suppose. I hear a scarab somewhere nearby. Let's try that. I want to try the frozen spear again. That was a sick move. Frozen lightning spear for the win. Does so much damage to you. What the hell is going on with that scarab? That scarab, is it disappearing on us? Oh my god, that scarab is like dashing around in a triangular pattern. It's a cerulean scarab, which I don't exactly need. So that part is not a big deal, but it's really interesting that it's doing what it's doing. Okay. Oh man, the Lanciax glaive, the frozen lightning spear, it's all so much fun. It just is more fun than they should be allowed to have. We also have way more Celestial Dew than we're ever going to need. Kind of wish that some of those Celestial Dew were just, well, more bolstering materials. Can never have too many. Oh god, it's the pumpkin head ants. Can never have too many bolstering materials. Oh, and then that's right, I forgot. You have, oh my god. I forgot you are annoying like that. You do the same sort of thing that the pumpkin heads do, blocking the spells. If you are, assuming that you are actually facing me. That is quite the move. What? That has poison affixed to it? Okay. That's not allowed. Not allowed. Get out of here. Oh no! You are, oh. You really are a hardhead. Jesus. Okay. What the hell were you guys hiding? Nothing? Nothing? They were guarding nothing. What is going on here? There has to be more to the story. Okay, Elden Ring. That's... Thanks for that, I guess. Let's check what's in this building over here. Or did we already... No, we went... This was not... This was the Celestial Dew. This is... What the... I stepped on some branches and I got scared for a second. Because I thought I had an enemy that was spawning right next to me. It startled me. Okay. This is the building I was talking about. What is in here? Another chest? Oh, wait, there's an elevator. Oh, shit. Is this elevator going up or down? It might be going down. because this might connect us. Oh, I know where this is going. This is where we took a silly science death trying to get down where this elevator is going. Oh, and there's a site of grace. That is nice. That is so convenient. Let's bank that. And I think it was this site of grace that we saw after the Dragonkin soldier fight. And we took a fall, a silly science step to try to get here. Okay, cool. Now, where this leads from here, I think is going to a new zone. We got a preview of this new zone over here. There's like a big, some sort of underground scarlet swamp, I think. We will investigate that more thoroughly soon enough, but we've banked that site of grace. We can see what it says. Nokstella, waterfall basin. Makes sense. We got to finish up here, though. We have to continue with Nokstella. Nokstella is, I guess we're going here now. I guess that is the next item on our agenda. If only I could mount up. If only I could ride my horsey to get a little bit of a quicker travel back over there. But, we'll get some extra steps in, I suppose. We always end up with a much higher step count when we are in the Ainsel River. Nothing wrong with that. The introduction of another lord, the Lord of Night. There might have been some clues if we go back and look at some other items, which I will do later. If we peruse other items, there may have been some clues to introduce or tease at the idea of a Lord of Night. But I feel like that Nox armor that we picked up was like the first real substantive glimpse into that idea. And the greater will, to the extent that we do understand the greater will, it is, you know... Oh, what the... Okay. It looked like you were about to do some sort of... You had... This is the first dagger enemy that we faced, and you... Honestly, you kind of... There's a similarity... There's a similarity between you and the Black Knife Assassins. Is that where your armor set? Oh, hi there. Unbeknownst to me, sneaking up behind me here. Okay. Can the lightning go up the stairs? It kind of can. Chain reaction? Oh, it didn't hit the folks in the back. Okay, glaive time. Glaive time. You lucky bastard. You lucky bum surviving that whole nonsense. Okay, all right. Oh, there's the acquire materials. I thought it was something that they had dropped. Yeah, you know, I think maybe I had been starting to piece this together before, but we kind of know this already, don't we? That the assassins, the Black Knife Assassins, are an all-female crew, but they also originate from the Eternal City, don't they? And it totally makes sense if Ranni was headed down here, that she has been working in coordination with them somehow, right? That's one of the major arcs, I think, that we have to really tie together. One of the major story arcs here is just this whole idea. The Knight of the Black Knives. I absolutely love this spell. The Knight of the Black Knives. I'm out of mana, though. The Black Knife Assassins. The Nox Monks. They're all connected. And maybe even the Nox monks are, you know, like the elite of the elite Nox monks graduate into Black Knife assassins. Maybe. I do love the Nox treasure chest though, so cool. Oh shit! Oh shit! Ghost Glovewort Picker's Bellberry number 2. Oh shit. Yes, dude, 4, 5, and 6 are now unlimited. Oh, baby. Latenna and a whole bunch of other ashes are going to be getting some major love very soon. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. That's an awesome pickup. Okay, now we just need the similar equivalent for our smithing stones, and we'll be good to go. Get me that next. We have, I think, the introductory unlimited bell bearing for each of the smithing stones. Give me level 2. Let's get that. Let's also not linger too long. Oh, wait a second. I was going to say, let's not linger too long on the scary, shrieking faces here. But also, I am realizing this statue here. I think this statue is at the Church of Vows. I think this is the same statue at the Church of Vows. The whole Celestial Dew. The place that we actually use. So we should check in. It might be time for an NPC sweep. We had the interaction that we had with Varre. And now we've got Bloodshot Eyes, maybe permanently. Oh boy. But it might be time for us to check in with some other NPCs, such as Muriel? Is that the guy's name? It's been so long, but our Turtle Pope potentially would have some new dialogue? Maybe? Just seeing if there were any snails or anything else that wanted to fall on my dome. Fall on my dome. Summons 3 archer spirits. The Archer Ashes. Okay. All right. These little... Wait a second. Do we know these guys? Oh, wait a second. Okay, I thought these were something else. These are spirits of archers who belong to the Fallen Hawks, a band of soldiers that once explored the Eternal City. Their arrows are imbued with cold ghost flame. Though their methods are somewhat crude, they work well as a squadron, firing a hail of arrows in unison at the sound of a war cry. Cool. So many ashes to use. So many ashes to use. My instinct to want to try them all and to get variety. It has a tough time keeping up with all the options. There's so many of them. We'll do our best. We'll keep trying. That one I saw. That one was a little too easily choreographed. Okay, I'm hearing some footsteps here, and I'm seeing a chest in a very poorly lit room. So there is... I wasn't even sure there was a floor there, if I'm being honest. Oh, these ones are not electrified. Or this one, I guess. It's just the one in the room, huh? Okay, another really super cool Nox chest. What you got for me? Keep bringing me all the goodies. I'm okay with this. Smithing Stone 4. Sorry, Smithing Stone 7. That's totally a 4. Might be time for me to take a break. Running by these obvious pieces of treasure because they seem to often come with a dropping of silver tier. Okay. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay. Oh, I see the room. There's also what looks like a fall gate on the other side. I was going to be a little confused here if there was no stone sword key slot. It looks like somehow we wormed our way to the back balcony, I think. I was like, wow, we found a secret. We found a secret. Oh no, don't tell me that I can't get back over. Oh, that was going to be awkward. If I couldn't get back over. What the? Really? We're doing the whole massive ball of death routine here as well? I guess actually, you know, we had one of these before. The silver tiers have learned all sorts of tricks, and we did. I remember in the Knight's Sacred Ground. This. Oh my God! Holy crap! Holy fucking crap! No. Actually, this might be okay. Inadvertent cheese. Inadvertent cheese. I that situation went from, oh shit, I'm fucked, to, wait a second, we got into the perfect position because it could not roll. As massive as that thing was, it could not knock over this puny little ghost flame torch. Or brazier, or whatever it's supposed to be called. And we get another, how many larval tiers do we have now? Like 13 of them? 11? We could respec. I suppose maybe I should think about respecking just to fine-tune the build. I really don't have enough for a blessing spoon, so we're gonna just drink our flasks. Because we've been getting so many flask refills. We don't need anything. We don't need to be fancy, just be smart. Or just be not greedy is really what it is. Okay, a couple Nox monks in here. Hopefully not going to be too much of a handful. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, what were y'all guarding? These are not treasure chests, are they? These would be some massive, amazing chests ahead. There is one in between, however. There is another super sexy Nox chest with Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. Oh, are these? But judging by the artwork here, I think these are the style of, it says puppets. So they go along with the two puppets that we bought off of the deceased Celuvus. Where's my ashes here? These guys down here. Yeah. Night Maiden and Swordstress puppets. An old puppet crafted in the Eternal City, used to summon the spirits of a Night Maiden and a Swordstress. These sisters, members of a cold-blooded race who wield flowing weapons, became puppets of their own volition. An interesting choice. The life on its... The regular life in the Eternal City wasn't cutting it for them. They really wanted to take part in that puppet life. I did realize during my break that it might be a good idea for us to go to talk to E.G. E.G. and the little miniature Ranni doll. Maybe that would prompt some sort of interaction with E.G. We'll see if we can find a site of grace first, though. That would be the first objective here, because we need a foothold. We need to establish another foothold deeper into the Eternal City before we would warp out to go talk to E.G. Feels like it might be time for a site of grace, potentially. I did see a chest in here as we went by. Look at this. Look at this. This is beautiful in its own way. There's a very Bloodborne kind of quality to this, which we've noted before with the Eternal City, right? That it's... Oh. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Actually, let's do the home bolt. Actually, let's not do Hone Bolt. Let's do Lanciax's Blade. That's got to be way better, right? It was somewhat better. It was somewhat better. We have just enough space. Oh, you don't do hardly any stamina damage. If we're blocking you, that did 0 in terms of stamina damage. So another larval tier added to our stockpile. And another Nox chest uncovered, and this time I immediately saw the legendary item glow. Very exciting. So exciting I had to chug a cerulean flask first. Another great ghost glove word. Okay. The third Titanite slab is inevitably going to be just a bit less exciting than the first or the second, but we will accept it nonetheless, especially now that we are getting those upper tiers beneath, just below the Titanite slab. We're now getting that max level, those max level summons, multiple max level summons, is not a distant possibility anymore, any longer. Flashbacks just now. The ball rolling down the stairs. This really gave me flashbacks to the Undead Berg. Obviously, this rolling ball of death was we had a lot more lead time in being able to see that one coming. But that little turn on the stairs and thinking about the flaming barrel that gets pushed down your way back in the Undead Berg. Good memory. It's nothing like your first Souls game. Okay. Oh, I think we've been down, if we're looking down where I think we are. No, maybe not. No, we were just down here earlier. Never mind. Never mind. I thought we were looking down to a point that was way, way lower in this structure. Okay, I'm noticing a golden centipede. The golden centipede caught my eye. We were just talking about this earlier, and it being a non-farmable material. And I also wondered if that was going to be a door that we could open. The answer is no. Okay, so just the random golden centipede, which we have seen on a number of occasions in the underground. I can think all the way back to the entrance or the opening, the beginning of Shifra River. And there was a golden centipede somewhere in that vicinity. I think there might have been some bubble boys as well. The golden centipede and its affiliation with the Golden Order and Radagon, or at least it's associated with Radagon in my mind because of the golden centipede's appearance at various churches. Oh, I forgot about this. Did we completely... No, we have not missed that golden seed because we couldn't get up there. I don't think we could have. I had forgotten about it, but I think the way that we get there looks like by going across this bridge and then somehow descending inside of this structure. There's maybe an elevator that's going to lead us down to that golden seed. Okay. I had forgotten about it, but it was because we were not able to get to it yet, I don't think. Oh boy, all of a sudden, now that I mentioned Bloodborne, seeing the chairs all of a sudden makes me think of the that spot where all it's after the one reborn. There's that. Okay, it's I don't think it's a boss fight. I don't think it's a boss fight. It's just a whole bunch of silver tears that are gonna explode. Okay, let's drink. Because we are... Let's not be greedy. and let the chain reaction flow. Let the chain... Oh my god, how many of you are there? How many of you must exist? They're still coming. There was one more. No! Oh my god, wait, is this infinite? There are... Oh, what the... No. Get me the hell out of here. Get me to... some semblance of safety. What in the fuck is going on? Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Can this thing make it out? Yeah, take out all your friends for me. The only question is, can this thing make it out of the door? I don't think it can, but I'm not positive. Either way, I think it's gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine. Holy moly, dude. If you ever needed larval tears, you've found the spot. There was so many of those motherfuckers. Okay. I was thinking of all the folks with the Mikolash hats. That's what I was thinking. The Mensis caged, poor hapless souls lined up in the chairs. There's nobody in these chairs. But man, this, like the screaming faces meshed into the architecture. The inspiration is there. More somber smithing stones. We came in today with 0 level 7 somber smithing stones. And I had just been wondering, I think the last episode, where we were going to find that level. Dude, this is a perfect staircase for us to be another silver tier ball of death to head our way. Where is this scarab, though? Oh, it's right there. It's hiding. It's trying to lead us into a trap, isn't it? Am I going to fall for that? It did not lead us into a trap. I was so waiting for us to chase this scarab up the stairs and ball of death smashing us on the head. Okay, level 6 somber smithing stone. Dude, we have options now. We have the ability to upgrade our 2 favorite somber smithing stone weapons. Our scale sword and our Queen's Flame. Okay, well, we did not get a warp, a Sight of Grace. But I don't necessarily think that we have gotten a boss fight, so I am going to take advantage of summoning somebody here. Now, what I'm going to do, actually Ancient Dragon Knight Kristoff is just fine. Totally fine with this guy because he does lightning moves. And we love the lightning moves against the silver tears. Oh, are you finally transforming? Okay, so it might not be a boss fight, but it's not the normal silver tier fight that we have become associated with. Why are you two teaming up on me? Why are you? Actually, I want to stick with this glaive. I want to stick with this glaive. Yeah, there we go. Get him. Get him, Kristoff. You were waiting for your moment. By the power of Lanciax, you are done for. I'm way too far away to do a guard counter. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Yeah, get that honed bolt action going. Let's go. Oh my god, Kristoff is amazing. If you give him an opening, to do the honed bolt business, it is done. It's a wrap. Love it. That was fun. We're having all kinds of fun here in Nokstella. I am liking this zone. I'm loving the upgrade materials that we are adding to our inventory, and I am loving the vibe of the place. I love that everything is, well, most things in the place are kind of weak to our super fun lightning attacks, spells, and abilities that we have all, that we have been collecting in the Altus Plateau. Oh, there are nascent butterflies back here. Okay. It did not look like we were going to be able to. It felt like a, felt like that was going to be a fatty ahead. End of the line, but nascent butterflies. And a Moon of Nokstella, a legendary talisman. Increases memory slots. Okay. Sure. This talisman represents the lost black moon. The Moon of Nokstella was the guide of countless stars. We have heard this black moon referenced a couple different times. It has been mentioned before on some other... As I was going through my inventory, I was reminded of the fact that it is mentioned. If I can do a quick search here, I'm not sure if I would have made note of the black moon. Oh, I did make note of it on... It is actually noted on the memory stone itself. That is something. If we go to key items and look at memory stones, we can see that it says it's a fragment of the black moon that once hung above the Eternal City. So now, how much does it actually increase our memory slots? Let's find out. It based on that language, it feels like it would be more than one. Memory slots go to 11. There it is. Does give us 2 additional memory slots. Is that worth a talisman? Debatable. Okay. There is that passageway to the left. Or stage right, if that is our stage. And now, I think we're going to find a way to descend to the Golden Seed. I think. Assuming there are no secrets stashed away in these corners, it only makes sense that now is the time for us to head down to get a Golden Seed. But then what? Then what, he says. What is next? Because we have this miniature Ranni. Let's find out. Let's just see what happens. Maybe there is... I guess I was thinking that this platform with the Golden Seed might be the end of the road, but maybe there is more... Maybe there's more over in that direction, to the north. Either way, let's get a Golden Seed. 4 or 5. Very exciting. New flask is very close to being acquired. The ability to summon Torrent, still not available. Something else I was thinking about during the break is the fact that I was looking through Ranni's dialogue that we have noted, and I was reminded that we met Ranni at the very beginning of the game. She's the one who gave us our spirit calling bell, or whatever it's called. After we got the ability to ride Torrent, she mentioned, I heard about a Tarnished riding around a spectral steed. Don't know what that means. Don't know if that's important in any way, but it's something that did happen. Nascent butterflies. Okay. It might be the end of the road, huh? There was part of me looting nascent butterflies and then thinking about a cavern below us. Was thinking that we Have another fall-away platform, lured in once again by the nascent butterflies. Didn't happen, fortunately. But I do not know. I am not sure where we would go next. I think, well, down to the Nokstella waterfall basin. That would have to be it, right? So if the path does indeed continue in terms of finding Ranni, this would have to be it. I think we have now, may have missed something, but I feel like that was a pretty decent first pass. So let us do what I said we were going to do a moment ago. Wow, EG is actually very close to us above ground. Let's go to EG. Just see if there's any interaction in response to the miniature Ranni.
Well, my fellow, how may I serve you? As war counselor or as blacksmith?
I was hoping about more of the war counselor duties. Not in urgent need of the blacksmithing. However, we have a lot of upgrade materials that we have acquired, and it might be time pretty soon. He's picking up the hammer. He's picking up the hammer. He wants. Maybe we'll make EG happy here by asking for a couple upgrades that we know we're gonna want to make, right? We know that we want this magma. Oh wait, we're already at a plus. We're already at a +6 on the scale sword. So I don't know, why was I hesitating then to put the Godslayer's great sword to a +6? We have plenty. We now have a decent amount of 6 and 7s. We'll do one upgrade to make our buddy EG happy. And then we will talk and see if there's new dialogue.
Lady Ranni has departed on her journey.
I think it's the same as before.
Along the dark path of the Empyrean. Now
Yep.
Lady Ranni is in your hands.
Ha!
I pray
Ha!
that you serve her well unto the very end.
In your hands. I see what you did there. Okay. Okay. Let's sit at this site of grace just in the off chance that we would talk to the miniature Ranni here at the War Counselor EG's site of grace. Okay, all right. I think that what you said there. Funny guy. Funny guy, EG. Let's go back to the, not Dragon Soldier, the Nokstella Eternal City. Let's try this, if it is still there, the menu option that lets us attempt to talk to the miniature Ranni. Let's give this another try.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we? Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine.
Don't judge.
I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag. I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Ranni the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter.
What? Did she say baleful shadows? Who the heck are those? Explain yourself. Another thing I was thinking about during the break is that we have technically pledged ourselves to Ranni's service, have we not? So not only do we have the bloodshot eyes, and I guess we are now in service of the Lord of Blood, but we're also in service of Ranni. Or is that deal expired? We entered into Ranni's service in order to try to obtain the location of her curse mark, which we did in the Divine Tower of Liurnia. However, maybe that's where the deal ended. Are we still in Ranni's service? She says that we've sullied the name of Ranni. Gonna need to review that dialogue.
Let us speak of the past a while. I was once an Empyrean.
Oh.
Of the demigods. Only I, Mikola, and Melania could claim that title. Each of us was chosen by our own two fingers as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, to become the new god of the coming age, which is when I received Blythe, in the form of a vassal tailored for an Empyrean. But I would not acquiesce to the two fingers. I stole the rune of death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. I would not be controlled by that thing. The two fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since, and the baleful shadows are their assassins.
Lore drop. Holy shit. I really wish in moments like this that we had that there was some sort of a, you know, recent dialogue or log option. Fortunately, I have a recording that I can reference, and I may do that here in just a second. Let me see if I can summarize what she said. So there's this term Empyrean. I'm getting a little hung up on that term because I don't know exactly what it means. But she said that she and Mikola and Melania, only they... Did she say that only they were Empyreans, or only they were chosen to potentially be successors to Marika? She also said that they each had their own two fingers. We've also been seeing a two fingers in each of the Divine Towers, have we not? Or we had been. We saw a two fingers in Godric's tower. We saw a two fingers in Radon's tower. But I don't think we actually saw a two fingers there in Ranni's tower. It was just her. She said that she killed her two fingers, didn't she? Maybe I better review that dialogue very quickly. So she says she was once an Empyrean, which makes sense. She discarded of that body when she stole the Rune of Death. That was another thing she said. Of the demigods, only I, Mikola, and Melania could claim that title. Title of Empyrean? Is that the title that she's talking about? Each of us was chosen by our own two fingers as a candidate to succeed Queen Marika, to become the new god of the coming age. Which is when I received Blythe in the form of a vassal tailored for an Empyrean. But I would not acquiesce to the two fingers. I stole the Rune of Death, slew mine own Empyrean flesh, casting it away. So she may have done that on purpose. I had theorized that the process of killing Godwyn through the plot on the Night of the Black Knives, that in that moment that the assassins killed Godwyn, whatever process that linked, whatever ritual that Ranni had performed to imbue those knives with the power of the Rune of Death, in the process, she may have linked herself in a way where Godwyn dying resulted in her death as well. I had theorized that, but I'm not so sure based on what she says now that that's true, because she says that she slew her own Empyrean flesh, that she meant to do it. Maybe it is still true, but I had theorized with the idea that she didn't intend it. Now it sounds like maybe she did plan on it, because she didn't really want that Empyrean flesh, because she would not be controlled by that thing. So somehow the I don't know if Empyrean is supposed to be different from us, the Tarnished, but whatever it is about Empyrean flesh, it seems that the two fingers is able to wield some level of control over those who are Empyrean. And she didn't want that. The two fingers and I have been cursing each other ever since. And the baleful shadows are their assassins. So she wants us to kill the baleful assassins. My controller has shut off here. Okay, let's see if she does have additional dialogue.
I turned my back on the two fingers, and we have each been cursing the other since. The baleful shadows are their assassins.
Okay, summary of the most important takeaway. There's a lot. There was a lot in that dialogue to go through. Absolutely super, super fascinating. I'm reminded of a note that we picked up last time, did we not? Or somewhat recently, unseen assassins. Some assassins cannot be seen with the naked eye. Seems the Erdtree sentries once carried torches that could cast light on these prowlers. Is this a reference to the baleful shadows? Not clear. Should we have a torch equipped? Maybe we should have a torch, just in case. We could try the Ghost Flame torch even. We're going to be heavy load here. I'll have to switch some of my gear around. That's okay. Would there be any baleful shadows right in the vicinity that they would use as an example? If in fact the Ghost Flame reveals those shadows, that's not even... Also, I missed an item. Never happens. Never once in this playthrough has it happened that I've missed an item before. Baleful shadows. Don't know what the deal is, but we have conversed with Ranni, and that is so exciting to get a... That's kind of the whole goal of coming down here, was to try to get some level of progression with Ranni's story, and so we have.
I turned my back. The baleful.
That is really, really awesome, but also confusing, because I don't know how to see these baleful assassins right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Nokstella warp point, the water basin warp point that we picked up, and we're going to explore from that point onward. We'll use this Ghost Flame torch a little bit, I guess, and just see. Who knows if there will be any baleful shadows that will just pop out of the blue. You never know. I don't... Yeah, what torch would do the trick? Like, I'm trying to think in my mind, what torch would these... I'm not even sure what an Erdtree sentry is. Like, the closest thing that I can think of is the Erdtree Guardians. Also, it's awesome when we have a torch that is able to withstand going under a waterfall like this. But... What was I saying? What was I in the middle of saying? I already lost my train of thoughts. Also, something that never ever happens while we are playing Elden Ring. It's the power of the cleansing power of the waterfall. Not only does it clean your skin, your clothing, your flowing red mane locks, but it also clears your mind. Any thoughts that were there are gone. Kaput. Some fireflies in the air. We are kind of heading into a new zone now. Oh god, there's basilisks. It's fucking basilisks. God damn it. We haven't... So far, we have been fortunate enough to not find out whether or not you all spew death. And I would kind of prefer if we keep it that way. They spew death, because of course they do. Of course they fucking do. God damn it. We knew it. If you've been around, if Elden Ring ain't your first rodeo, then you know it. You just knew that the death was coming. Great. Just lovely. Let me get my lantern, please. As if a big old I'm seeing the shift in the color. The shift toward red and blood, which we, you know, we're kind of, as a character, we are now more than comfortable with. So if it weren't enough, though, to think about, is that an invader? Is that Blythe? Why is Blythe an invader? It is... What? Blythe. Blythe, my dude. I don't want to confront this reality. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want it. But also, I have to be ready for a fight. I am compelled to be ready for a fight. Baleful Shadow. Okay.
O Shadow, thou art the last. Tell the two fingers that Ranni the witch cometh to rend thy flesh with a fateful wound, ne'er to heal.
Just drank a flask there. It's a baleful shadow, so it might not actually be Blythe. I totally am. There's no way I fully absorbed the dialogue there from Ranni in the middle of a battle. Something else I'm going to have to review here as I double check to make sure I am actually recording. So far, Honed Bolt, you seem to be totally fine with just hanging back and taking Honed Bolts to the face.
Beautifully fought. My thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned.
Was it though?
Now I can finally stand before them. This is farewell, my dear. Tell Blythe and E.G. I love them.
Excuse me? So first of all, it wasn't as much, really wasn't very much of a challenge. We sort of kind of cheesed. We rode the Honed Bolt cheese to victory. We have a discarded palace key. We took down a baleful shadow. And Ranni said to tell Blythe and E.G. that I love them. Okay. It looked like Blythe, but I don't think it was actually Blythe. I was worried. I think my heart can now rest a little easier. Now that I don't think I was killing Blythe, because I don't think I could even carry on any longer. That would just be too much to handle. The thought of the half-wolf, aka Full Chad, no longer being a part of my tarnished existence. Okay. I'm totally going to have to review that dialogue. Whenever there is dialogue during a boss fight or during any sort of combat, I don't absorb it. I basically don't absorb it. I'm going to have to read that again. And maybe we will do that in just a bit. Let's try to see if we can find some sort of site of grace. I feel like we are heading into a new zone, and we're looking for an entry point. We're looking for the site of grace that is going to be our foothold into that new zone. And that new zone looks like it has a whole bunch of rot. We are, in fact, in the Lake of Rot. Just as we had gotten our preview before, somewhere up above, we got that preview quite a while ago, and now a sea of rot is in front of us. Please tell me I cannot ride Torrent. No. No, Torrent. Torrent, I need help. for my poor little tarnished boots traipsing around in the Lake of Rot. That is going to be... okay. We are going to rest. See if we get any additional talk with Ranni. Not an option there. And I am going to very briefly review. We'll rest at the site of grace once again. And I'm going to review that dialogue from Ranni during the fight with the Baleful Shadow. So she says, "O Shadow, thou art the last. Thou art the last." The last Baleful Shadow? The assassins of the Two Fingers? Tell the Two Fingers that Ranni the Witch cometh to rend thy flesh. Now, is she talking to us, or is she talking to the Baleful Shadow? She's talking to the Baleful Shadow, right? She just said, "Baleful Shadow, you art the last." So she's saying, with a fateful wound never to heal. A fateful wound to the Two Fingers that's never going to be healed. So is that what has happened? I wonder if she has been going around killing... There's been, you know, more than one Two Fingers. Elden Ring language. And the ones that she has killed, has she placed them at the Divine Towers that we have found them at? Or were they there and they just died? Or did she kill them there where they live? So many questions. A fateful wound, never to heal. Ne'er to heal. And then, okay, and then we take out the Baleful Shadow, and then what? My thanks. Beautifully fought, my thanks. 'Twas more of a challenge than I envisioned. Not really, thanks to Hone Bolt. Now I can finally stand before them. Who's them? This is farewell, my dear. Now I think she's talking to us. This is farewell. Tell Blythe and E.G. that I love them. This is farewell. Okay, and then, of course, we picked up this discarded palace key. Oh, and something happened to our doll. The chilliness is gone, feeling now like an empty husk. There is no response. The spell has faded. Discarded palace key. A key discarded by Lunar Princess Ranni alongside her very flesh. Alongside her very flesh. Does that mean... Is this actually... Let's read more. Opens a treasure chest. Oh! Oh! Opens a treasure chest passed down to Carian princesses. It is said to be found in the Grand Library of Raya Lucaria with her mother, Renala. And we're close. We are so close. Wow. Finally! Finally. We'll check with Renala, but you're not going to have any new dialogue for us, I don't think. I don't think.
Now, is it thy wish to...
Yeah, no, yeah, you are the rebirth vendor now. Even with something as substantial...
Not alarmed, nor afeared. I would birth thee.
Honestly, you should be the one alarmed given the state of our bloodshot eyes. Discarded palace key. The part about alongside her very flesh, I was getting a little hung up on because I was wondering, is this... We know that she was inhabiting a... She called it a doll. The flesh that she had inhabited, which may have been Renna's flesh, or it may have been the old snowy crone, or maybe they were one and the same. Renna may have been the old snowy crone. did her actual flesh and body shrink down to some miniature size? And her spirit has, I don't know, gone somewhere in the Lake of Rot? Passed down to Karian princesses. What's in the chest? What is in the goddamn chest that we have waited? Oh, it's a legendary. Of course, it better goddamn be a legendary. As long as we've waited to open this shit. A dark moon ring. It's actually another key item. I thought at first it was a ring. And I thought I was slightly disappointed thinking, oh, we waited all this time just for a ring. But this is Elden Ring. We have talismans. Rings are key items. Ring of Lunar Princess Ranni's Cold Oath. This is so much fun, by the way. I am just... The level at which, I think you guys can tell, but I am geeking out so hardcore right now because this is just what I was hoping would happen. Like, as excited as I am to continue the adventure in the Altus Plateau and get to the capital, everything Ancient Dragon, Radagon, Morgott, everything related to that. Gold Mask. I also wanted to pursue this Ainsel River thread because I was hoping something like this. I didn't necessarily think, oh, we're gonna get a chest key, the chest that we've waited so long to open. But I really thought that we would, or was hoping that we would get a substantial bit of progress when it comes to Ranni. And oh my gosh, are we getting paid off? Ring depicting a leaden full moon, symbolic of a cold oath. The ring is supposed to be given by Lunar Princess Ranni to her consort. Ranni is an Empyrean, meaning her consort would by rights earn the title of Lord. A warning is engraved within. Whoever thou mayest be, take not the ring from this place. The solitude beyond the night is better mine alone. Okay. Let me remind myself, what is a consort? Just a quick... I don't know if we know who is Ranni's consort, but let me first... It is actually just defined as a husband or wife, especially the spouse of a monarch. Okay. Also a companion or partner. Could this be a reference to... This wouldn't be a reference to Blythe, would it? I don't think Blythe was quite that. He was... I don't see him as a... We haven't gotten any dialogue or any items that would suggest that they were that closely entwined. So I don't know if we know who would be her consort. I will have to think about that one. It could be that we've gotten some clues. We have so much different dialogue and item descriptions, and I try to keep up with them so I can put the pieces together. We'll see, we'll see. Curious to know more about what it means exactly to be an Empyrean. Meaning her consort would by rights earn the title of Lord. Warning is engraved. Whoever thou mayest be, take not the ring from this place. The solitude beyond the night is better mine alone. Well, this item is going with us when we leave this place. This library, that is. I don't know if it's supposed to be taken that literally. Probably not. It's probably referring to something else, something in a more metaphysical context. Either way, this is going to be the perfect place for us to wrap up this wonderful, goddamn amazing installment of Elden Ring, which I am so hyped to be able to go back and edit and eventually share with you all, because what an amazing uncovering of information, background, and some of the most unexpected turns. In particular, Varre finally convinced us to maybe to come over to not the dark side, but the blood side. So that's a thing that we have done, but we also may be turning to the dark side of the moon. I don't know what we're gonna do with this dark moon ring. I'm gonna avoid making any Dark Souls related jokes. Let's just avoid that altogether. If only Renala could provide some answers. It may be time for us to think about doing a rebirth though, because we have so many larval tears, and I'm sure I could think through some ways to just, I like the build now much more than I did at the start of the game, or at the somewhat handful of episodes previously when it was a bit of a scuffed build, but I'm sure we could fine tune it between having rune arcs enabled and other source seals and such. We might be able to reallocate some points, like into Arcane, for example, and take advantage of some of our Dragon Communion spells. There are so many thoughts going through my head right now. I do not quite know how to summarize such a good episode, other than to say it was a lot of fun, and I'm so glad you all got to be here with me. This guy. Oh my gosh. Radagon, Renala, Ranni, all the R's. We will continue to pursue answers. Because eventually we have episodes like this and we start to get some semblance of them. And perhaps next time we'll head back to the Altus Plateau and start to get answers in that domain and unveil the map to the next part of the capital. Tune in to find out. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.